Rhaegar Targaryen, the last dragon, is definitely one of the most epic characters in the Game of Thrones universe. Even though he's dead, his actions still continue to influence the series. Prince Rhaegar Targaryen was the eldest son of King Aerys Targaryen II, also known as the Mad King, and his sister-wife Queen Rhaella. He was the older brother of Viserys and Aerys. As heir-apparent, he was the Prince of Dragonstone and Crown Prince for the Iron Throne. Rhaegar was born amongst the flames in 259 AC, during the Great Tragedy at Harrenhal. As a child, Rhaegar was a bookworm, although he became a noted warrior later in life. Apparently something he had read motivated him. Rhaegar often liked to visit the ruins of Harrenhal with only his harp, and when he returned he sang songs of such beauty they could reduce women to tears. At the age of 17, Rhaegar was knighted, and from all reports, grew into a highly skilled and capable fighter. However, men said Rhaegar loved his harp more than he loved his lance. Rhaegar's squires were Miles Mouton and Richard Lonmouth, and after he knighted them, they remained close companions. Jon Connington, whom he had squired with, was a good friend to Rhaegar as well. His closest and oldest friend, however, was Sir Arthur Dayne, the Sword of the Morning, whom he trusted more than Sir Barristan Selmy. In 276 AC, at the tournament in honor of Viserys's birth in Lennisport, Tywin Lannister offered King Aerys to betroth the 10-year-old Cersei Lannister with Rhaegar, an offer which Aerys refused. When Rhaegar was born, the Targaryen bloodline had decreased, and once he came of age, there was no sister or anyone else of the bloodline available for him to marry. So, in 280 AC, he married the Dornish princess Elia Martell in a great ceremony at the Great Sept of Baelor in King's Landing. Rhaegar and his father's relationship was straining at this point, and he and his new bride took up residence on Dragonstone. Later that year, Rhaegar and Elia had their first child, a girl named Rhaenys. Queen Rhaella embraced her granddaughter warmly, but King Aerys refused to touch or hold the child, and complained that she smells Dornish. In 282 AC, Elia and Rhaegar had a son they named Aegon. Elia, due to her delicate health, was bedridden for half a year, after giving birth to Rhaenys, and nearly died giving birth to Aegon, after which the maesters told Rhaegar that she would be unable to have any more children. Rhaegar believed his child Aegon to be the prince that was promised. In 281 AC, at the tourney at Harrenhal, Rhaegar won the joust, and he chose Lyanna Stark as the new Queen of Love and Beauty, placing a crown of blue winter roses in her lap. The next year, Rhaegar supposedly abducted Lyanna, which triggered Robert's rebellion in the downfall of the Targaryen dynasty. Rhaegar spent the beginning of Robert's rebellion, also known as the War of the Usurper, with Lyanna Stark at the Tower of Joy in the Red Mountains of Dorne. Game of Thrones Season 7 finale reveals that Rhaegar didn't kidnap Lyanna, and that they were married in a secret ceremony in Dorne. Aerys sent Gerald Hightower, the Lord Commander of the King's Guard, to retrieve Rhaegar. Leaving Gerald, Arthur Dayne, and Oswell went at the tower. Rhaegar returned to the Crown Lands, and took command of the Targaryen army after the defeat of his friend Jon Connington in the Battle of the Bells. Rhaegar met Lord Robert Baratheon in combat at a ford during the Battle of the Trident, where the pair had a legendary duel in the raging rivers of the Trident. Rhaegar, despite wounding Robert, was struck down with a massive blow from Robert's warhammer, which scattered the rubies encrusted in Rhaegar's armor under the water. While Rhaegar lay dead in the stream, soldiers of both armies scrabbled in the water to search for the rubies. The location was named the Ruby Ford thereafter. Rhaegar died with Lyanna Stark's name on his lips. His body was cremated, as is traditional for fallen Targaryens. His wife Elia and their children were murdered by Sir Gregor Clegane and Sir Amory Lorch during the sack of King's Landing. Amory dragged the screaming girl, Rhaenys, from under her father's bed, and stabbed her to death. Gregor, whom Rhaegar had knighted, killed the infant Aegon by dashing his head against the wall, while his mother watched. He then raped and killed Elia, while still covered in the blood and brains of her son. Lyanna Stark was found by Ned Stark, her brother, and Lord Halland Reed at Rhaegar's Tower of Joy in Dorne. Lyanna died of childbirth in the Red Mountains after Ned's arrival. Before she died, she passed his newborn son Aegon to Ned Stark, and made him give a promise to protect Aegon from Robert. Ned raised Aegon Targaryen as his own bastard son, Jon Snow. If you like this video, please share it. Also, don't forget to press that red subscription button below.